In today's video, I will be sharing with you a brutally honest review on Schwarzkopf's Simply Color Permanent Color. I will be giving you my opinion on the good and the not so good. Okay, let's begin. So I have two things that I have to accomplish today with this hair color. Number one, I have to cover my gray roots. Second, I want to add some lowlights to my hair. For the past 2 years, I've been using a Wella brand color called Surfside Blonde. I feel like my color has no depth at this point, so I've decided to add some lowlights. As someone who went to cosmetology school many years ago, I'm going to go ahead and do it myself. I've decided the easiest way to do this myself would be to use a highlighting cap. I want to be able to salvage some of the blonde that I have and not put too many lowlights, so I'm going to leave some big sections or chunks, if you will, out of the cap. Now, for someone like myself who has been using Wella products for well over 15 years, you're probably asking, why would you stop now? 2 reasons: hair loss and damage. Schwarzkopf's Simply Color has grabbed my attention for a few reasons. First of all, it says it's a permanent color. I need a permanent color. Second, it says it's 100% ammonia, silicone, and alcohol-free. Now, I find that very exciting. Okay, so let's get into it and put Schwarzkopf to the test. Here I am putting on my highlighting cap, trying to position it well. I'm going to go ahead and leave some of these big strands of hair out of the cap because I want to go ahead and salvage some of my blonde. I don't want to make it all dark. As I said before, we're just doing lowlights. When doing this kind of technique, in order to save some time, I definitely recommend using a crochet hook that's a bit bigger or thicker because the skinny ones are just too thin and they would take forever, and your lowlights will be really tiny. So I think if you want a chunkier look, go ahead and use a bigger or thicker type crochet hook. So here I am pulling out hair using my crochet hook through the highlighting cap. Now, if you want many highlights or lowlights, go ahead and pull a lot through the cap. If you just want a minimal amount and you don't want it really heavy, obviously do less. So now, in regards to the color I chose, it was Schwarzkopf's Simply Color Almond Brown 7.5. Now, the packaging was very unique. It was made out of a 100% recyclable carton, very eco-friendly. It included the following: color cream applicator, bottle with developer, nourishing conditioner, which in my opinion was just, it was just okay, disposable gloves, and instructions. The product was very easy to use. You take the color cream, you add it to the developer, you give it a shake, and that's it. You start applying it to your hair. All right, so at this point you have separated your sections, you now have color on them, and you're just kind of making sure that it's all the way through the ends and you've applied it everywhere. The instructions suggest you leave it about 30 minutes. That's what I did, and now we just wait. Voila, here we are, 30-something minutes later. I went ahead and washed it all out. As you can see, my gray roots did not get colored. Now, this is not the fault of Schwarzkopf Simply Color. The product was fine. This was the fault of the highlighting cap. And I expected this because I knew that there were sections that were just not going to get the color. I knew that in trying to accomplish 2 different tasks, one being the roots, the other being the lowlights, I was going to have to do 2 different steps. At this point, I went ahead and blew it out so I can see the true results. And I was happy with the lowlights. I was happy that it wasn't super dark, but there was still some dimension. However, now I needed to go in and fix those roots. I do want to take a moment to mention I have never colored my hair and had such a small amount of hair loss. I'm assuming I got such a small amount simply because it didn't have ammonia. I thought this was absolutely incredible, and just this alone, just the fact that I had such little hair loss during this process had me sold on this product. However, we have to remember that true results take time. I waited 3 days to color my hair again. I wanted to give it a little time to rest. Instead of using the almond brown, this time I went ahead and used a medium blonde to do the roots. I didn't want to go quite as dark as last time, so I brought it up one level. This time I went ahead and applied it solely on the roots and did the same process as last time. And here we go. After the washout, we're going to go ahead and check those roots and see what the results were this time. As you can see, it did cover the gray, so I was really satisfied with that. As for the hair loss, it was a bit more than last time, but that was expected, considering the product was directly on the scalp. In my opinion, it was still not a lot of hair. And here we have it, guys. This is the final result using Schwarzkopf's Simply Color Permanent Hair Color. As you can see, it covered the gray perfectly. That was one of my main concerns, was it really gonna cover the gray? Considering it doesn't have any ammonia. I can honestly say it did not smell. It didn't take a long time to process. It took maybe 30 minutes. It covered pretty much 100% of my gray. I didn't lose a fistful of hair just trying to cover up my roots. And it was super gentle on my hair and my scalp. So the question of the hour is, did I love it? And would I purchase this product again? I absolutely loved it. Schwarzkopf Simply Color Permanent Hair Color has now become my new go-to product. Slow down, sister. These kind of reviews take time. They require patience and true results. Now, initially, I really thought that this product had delivered everything that it said it was going to do. Permanent color, covered the gray, and gentle on the hair. However, when you're trying a new product, you really need to just wait and give it time. That's the only way that you're really going to get those true results. Now, looking back, there was an interesting little bit on the box that I probably should have paid more attention to. 1, washes out. 2, up to 28 washes. And 3, was permanent. Now, it had a check mark next to permanent, but unfortunately, this product is not something that I would consider permanent. Semi-permanent? Yes. Temporary? Definitely. But permanent? Not so much. Those were definitely not the results that I experienced. At least not on virgin or non-color treated hair or gray hair. Now, that's not necessarily bad. There are pros and there are cons to not being a completely permanent hair color. For instance, if you are someone who likes to change your hair color often, this may be the perfect product for you. If you dye your hair and in a month or two you decide you want a fresh new look, this may actually work out perfectly. If you're trying a new color and you're unsure if you're going to love it, no worries. It's gonna fade out in approximately 4 to 6 weeks and you can start all over again. On the other hand, if you are someone who wants to build on your color, and what I mean by building is only dyeing your roots every 4 to 6 weeks, then this product will probably not work for you. I cannot speak for others, but I can only speak for myself. What happened to me was after approximately 4 to 6 weeks, the color basically faded out, taking me right back to my original root color. Now what happens with that is the roots are now really large, okay? Because the original dye that you did, the 1 to 2 inches, has faded out. And now you have an additional regrowth that's about another inch to 2 inches. So now you're looking at not only dyeing a regrowth or a roots that are just an inch or 2, you're looking at now about 4 inches. Not only did the regrowth fade out, but the lowlights that I put in also faded out. Now, to be honest with you, I wasn't terribly upset about that because I felt like I put just way too many lowlights. It actually worked out to my advantage. Now, I wasn't terribly disappointed because of the fact that it was gentle on the hair and just the fact that I had significantly less hair loss during the dyeing process. That alone was a tremendous concern for me. That is the honest to God reason why I started looking for another product in the first place. That's how I even came to Schwarzkopf, because of my concern with hair loss, because I would get so much hair loss while using the Wella product. So Schwarzkopf being ammonia free really got my attention. All right, enough babbling. So with all that being said, would I purchase Schwarzkopf Simply Color again? Well, the answer is yes and no. If I find a color that I absolutely love with a different brand, that is not harsh on my hair, that does not produce a lot of hair loss, then no, I would not use Schwarzkopf again. I would probably just stay with that brand. The reason I wouldn't use Schwarzkopf again is because it doesn't build on the color. So if I'm happy with it and I can't build on it, then every time I dye my hair, I have to keep dyeing more and more and more and more and pretty much using the product through my entire strand, which I rather not have to do. Plus, not only that, I know from past results that the color fades. However, with that being said, if I wanted to try a new color and I was unsure of what the results were gonna be, then yes, I would probably use Schwarzkopf again, simply because I know it doesn't have harsh chemicals, I know it's gentle on the hair, and I know it would fade and I would be able to start all over again if I wasn't in love with the color. This was a really tricky review because I didn't hate it, yet I didn't love it. It was somewhere in the middle. And for some people, it would work out fantastically, and for others, it just wouldn't. So that's it, guys. This is my honest review on Schwarzkopf's Simply Color Permanent Color. I hope this review was very informative for you. I hope you got lots of knowledge out of it and would be able to use it to determine whether to buy the product or not. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, show it to your friends, whoever may be interested in this type of information. Things are not cheap. We as consumers need to know what we're getting into when buying products. That's it for today, guys. See you at the next video. Bye-bye.